Whistling loudly. At first, learning to whistle with your fingers feels like a noisy party trick, the kind of thing people show off at concerts or football games. But when you're trying to get someone's attention across a chaotic crowd, or call your dog back from chasing a squirrel halfway down the block, that sharp piercing whistle becomes your best friend. It's louder than yelling, more efficient than waving, and surprisingly reliable. Plus, it just feels cool when you do it right. Scientifically, loud finger whistling involves creating a jet of air through a narrowed space using your fingers and tongue placement, which amplifies sounds in a specific direction. It's a form of mechanical sound projection that works similarly to how wind instruments like flutes operate. From a practical standpoint, this skill taps into principles of acoustics and airflow. While most people rely on their phones or voice, those who've mastered this skill can literally cut through noise, making them instantly effective communicators in high stimulation environments. Tying a knot. Most people think of knot tying as something you learn in the Scouts or use when you're sailing, but the truth is, knowing a few basic knots, like the bowline, square knot, or the trucker's hitch, can be a real-world lifesaver. Moving furniture, securing cargo, fixing broken straps, or even improvising a clothesline while traveling all become much easier if you know how to tie a knot that holds under tension and releases easily when needed. It's not just about convenience, it's about self-sufficiency. Knot theory, a branch of mathematical topology, actually studies the structural integrity of knots. Engineers and climbers rely on principles from this field to ensure load-bearing security. In physics, different knots distribute tension differently, which affects their reliability. For example, the trucker's hitch is great for maximizing tension when tying things down because it acts like a simple pulley system. The bowline, on the other hand, creates a fixed loop that won't slip under load. While the average person doesn't need to know the math behind it, understanding how to apply the right knot in the right context is a powerful tool, both literally and metaphorically. Reading body language. Reading body language might seem like a soft skill or even a bit of pseudoscience, but it's one of the most powerful ways to understand people beyond what they say. Crossed arms, raised eyebrows, leaning in or away. In job interviews, negotiations, dating, or even just casual conversations, being able to read nonverbal communication puts you one step ahead. Psychologically, this ties into a field called proxemics, the study of personal space, and kinesics, which focuses on body movement. According to Dr. Albert Mehrabian's famous communication model, a significant portion of emotional meaning is conveyed through nonverbal channels. While the 93% nonverbal statistic is context-specific, the takeaway is clear: body language matters. The brain's mirror neuron system even subconsciously mimics others' body movements to build empathy and understanding. Doing mental math. In the age of smartphones, calculators, and voice assistants, doing math in your head feels about as outdated as using a sundial. But when you're at a restaurant splitting a bill, figuring out a quick discount in a store, or estimating time and distance while traveling, mental math is faster than fumbling with your phone. Plus, people notice, and they respect it. It signals confidence, competence, and quick thinking. From a neuroscience standpoint, doing mental math engages the prefrontal cortex and it strengthens working memory. It's a cognitive workout that builds neural pathways related to problem solving, spatial awareness, and even decision making. Research shows that people who regularly perform mental arithmetic have stronger connections in the brain's intraparietal sulcus, an area linked to numerical understanding. Mental math isn't just a parlor trick, it's brain training that pays off across all areas of life. Changing a tire. Changing a tire sounds like something your dad tried to teach you once and you never paid attention to. But when you're stranded on a roadside with no phone signal and a flat tire, suddenly knowing how to jack up your car, remove the lug nuts, and swap in a spur makes you feel like a wizard. It's a skill you don't think about until it becomes absolutely essential. Mechanically, changing a tire involves understanding leverage, torque, and pressure, basic physics in action. The average person may not need to calculate newtons of force, but knowing how much strength to apply and in what order is a tactile form of problem solving. Studies show that hands-on procedural knowledge like this activates motor memory and builds confidence, especially in stressful situations. This kind of skill doesn't just fix a car, it gives you peace of mind and independence. Remembering names. Most of us forget people's names 5 seconds after they introduce themselves. It's not because we're bad people, but because we're not truly listening. Yet, remembering someone's name is a tiny gesture that makes a massive impact. It instantly makes people feel seen, heard, and respected. In job interviews, networking events, or even at the local gym, being the person who remembers names gives you a massive social edge. Neurologically, remembering names activates the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, and strengthens recall through repetition and association. There are even psychological techniques, like the name-face association or the memory palace method, that improve retention. Science shows that people who are good at remembering names often practice encoding them more deeply by linking them to visual imagery or emotional cues. So yes, it's a skill, and one that can be developed, not just gifted. Sewing button. Sewing seems like one of those outdated skills your grandma tried to pass down, right? But then your shirt button pops off 5 minutes before an important meeting, and suddenly this useless skill becomes critical. With a needle, thread, and 5 minutes of patience, you've just turned a fashion crisis into a non-issue. Not only that, but you've saved money and look competent doing it. From a fine motor perspective, sewing improves hand-eye coordination, precision, and spatial awareness. Occupational therapy even uses sewing activities to rehabilitate motor skills and patience. It also ties into sustainability. Being able to repair rather than replace helps reduce textile waste. In a world that's increasingly disposable, this small skill represents resilience and self-reliance. Touch typing. Most people can type, sure, but typing without looking, smoothly, accurately, and fast, that's a whole other level. Touch typing isn't just about speed, it's about freeing your brain to think while your fingers do the work. Writers, programmers, students, and professionals all benefit massively from this underappreciated skill. Cognitively, touch typing uses procedural memory, a type of long-term memory responsible for motor skills. When you no longer have to think about where each key is, your brain has more space for creativity and critical thinking. Research even shows that touch typists process language more fluently because of the reduced cognitive load. Over time, this leads to fewer typos, faster work, and less mental fatigue. Reading a map without GPS. In a world ruled by Google Maps, knowing how to read a physical map feels like a relic of the past. But when your phone dies, the app glitches, or you're out in the middle of nowhere with no signal, suddenly that paper map or directional sense becomes essential. It's not just about avoiding being lost, it's about understanding where you are in space and how to navigate confidently. This taps into the hippocampus, the brain's navigation system. Studies on London taxi drivers found that learning detailed street maps increased the size of their hippocampus over time. Spatial orientation, mental rotation, and map reading skills are all cognitive abilities that can be trained. Staying calm under pressure. Staying calm doesn't sound like a skill, it sounds like advice. But it's actually a learned, trainable ability that can completely change how you respond to life. Whether you're facing a medical emergency, dealing with public speaking anxiety, or having a tough conversation, the ability to stay calm is like a secret weapon. It stops you from panicking, helps you think clearly, and allows you to take control of the moment. Neurologically, staying calm involves managing your body's stress response, specifically regulating the amygdala, the brain's fear center, and activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, and cognitive reappraisal help shift your body from a fight or flight mode into a state of calm focus. Generally, people who regularly practice staying calm under pressure make better decisions, solve problems faster, and even live longer. It's not just emotional, it's biological. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Share this video to your friends and family. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.